Well, an ancient discovery is shedding light on the early church. The Megiddo Mosaic dates back nearly 2,000 years, and experts believe it decorated one of the earliest Christian worship sites in Israel.
In a discovery that rivals the impact of the Dead Sea Scrolls, an ancient mosaic has been uncovered, shaking the foundations of historical and religious understanding. This mosaic, believed to date back to around 230 AD, is not only significant for its age, but for the profound implications it carries about early Christian beliefs. Hidden for centuries beneath what is now a maximum security prison, this astonishing find has revealed evidence of early Christian worship that challenges everything we thought we knew about the early church. With a bold inscription declaring, "God, Jesus Christ," it offers undeniable proof that Jesus was considered divine long before the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. Could this discovery rewrite the history of Christianity? Let's dive deeper into this groundbreaking revelation and explore the mystery that has just been uncovered. The unexpected discovery. Beneath Megiddo Prison. In an unexpected turn of events, archaeologists have uncovered a discovery that could completely reshape our understanding of early Christianity. While conducting a routine survey at Megiddo Prison in Israel, the team stumbled upon a prayer hall dating back to the early 3rd century, long before Christianity became an official religion. Beneath this maximum security prison, they found remnants of a Christian worship site, including intricate mosaics that revealed something much more profound than anticipated. This is the earliest known evidence of Christian worship that challenges everything we thought we knew about the religion's formation. The discovery wasn't just groundbreaking because of its age, but because of the inscriptions it revealed. One in particular that read, "To the God Jesus Christ." This inscription directly contradicts earlier claims that the divinity of Jesus wasn't formally recognized until centuries later. Instead, it suggests that early Christians were already worshipping Jesus as God long before the establishment of the Church's foundational doctrines. This find raises essential questions about the timeline of Christianity's theological development and its widespread acceptance among believers in such a tumultuous period. What does this mean for the history of Christian doctrine? Did early Christians already view Jesus as divine, as suggested by this mosaic, or was it a belief that evolved over time? The presence of this mosaic, along with other artifacts, pushes us to reconsider our historical understanding of Christianity's earliest roots. Could this challenge the narrative that the divinity of Jesus was a later, political development? The story of the mosaic's discovery is just as remarkable as the find itself. Discovered beneath the prison's floor, the artifacts were preserved in remarkably good condition. But the journey to uncover them wasn't without its challenges. Archaeologists had to deal with the complexities of working around a functioning prison, which delayed the excavation for several years. Despite the obstacles, the team's persistence paid off in the form of a discovery that could redefine our understanding of early Christian worship and beliefs. Perhaps most astounding of all is that this site, hidden for centuries under a maximum security prison, could shed light on the very foundation of Christian thought, revealing that early followers may have already believed in the divinity of Jesus long before church councils formalized it. This could change everything we thought we knew about early Christian history. But what other secrets lie buried beneath this historically significant site? The significance of the God Jesus Christ inscription. What makes the mosaic found beneath Megiddo Prison so extraordinary isn't just its age or the artifacts surrounding it, it's the inscription that reads, "To the God Jesus Christ." This discovery is a revelation, as it directly contradicts centuries of scholarly debate about when Christians began to acknowledge the divinity of Jesus. While many have argued that the belief in Jesus' divinity only solidified centuries after his death, this inscription provides undeniable evidence that early Christians already saw Jesus as divine as early as the 3rd century. The inscription is a powerful statement, not only about the belief system of early Christians, but also about the practice of worship during that time. To find an explicit reference to Jesus as God in such an ancient context challenges previous assumptions about how the early church approached its theology. It's a monumental find, suggesting that the core doctrines of Christianity, including the belief in the divinity of Jesus, were not as recent as some scholars have claimed. But what does this mean for the larger story of Christianity's development? If early Christians were already professing Jesus' divinity, then where did the notion that this belief was a later evolution come from? This mosaic offers tangible evidence that the belief in the divinity of Jesus wasn't a product of political or theological power struggles, but rather a foundational part of early Christian faith. The discovery also raises intriguing questions about the early church's relationship with the Roman Empire. While the Roman authorities are often thought to have been hostile to Christianity in its early years, this mosaic suggests that there may have been a more nuanced relationship between early Christians and the empire than previously thought. Was there some level of acceptance, or at least tolerance, among Roman officials regarding the worship of Jesus? This discovery not only challenges long-standing assumptions about the early church, but also calls for a reassessment of how we view the evolution of Christian doctrine. Could this inscription be a game changer in understanding the spread of Christianity and the development of its core beliefs? And what other hidden truths might still be waiting to be uncovered? The early Christian prayer house. The discovery of the Christian prayer hall beneath Megiddo prison is one of the most significant archaeological finds in recent history. What makes this discovery so fascinating isn't just the fact that it's the earliest known Christian worship site, it's the insight it provides into the early church's practices. This site, which dates back to the early 3rd century, is believed to be one of the first Christian prayer houses, offering us a glimpse into the lives of early Christians who worshipped in secret during a time when their faith was still outlawed by the Roman Empire. The prayer hall itself is modest in design, with simple architecture and features, suggesting that it was likely used by a small, tight-knit community. Early Christians were often persecuted, and as a result, they had to worship in private, often in homes or underground spaces. This prayer house at Megiddo gives us an unprecedented view of how early Christian communities practiced their faith and what they valued most in their worship. What's even more fascinating is the preservation of the mosaic found in the prayer hall. Despite the site being abandoned for centuries, the mosaic floor remained remarkably intact, providing a clear window into the religious practices of the time. The mosaic's symbols and inscriptions suggest that early Christians not only worshipped Jesus, but also celebrated him as divine, long before the Council of Nicaea solidified this belief. This discovery also provides a glimpse into the broader context of early Christianity in the region. At the time, Christianity was still a minority faith, often viewed with suspicion by Roman authorities. Yet, this mosaic and the prayer house it was found in suggest that Christianity was already taking root and spreading, even in the face of adversity. The question now is, how will this discovery affect our understanding of the early church's theology and practices? What does it say about the spread of Christianity in the ancient world? The evidence uncovered at Megiddo could provide answers to these questions, but it may also open up even more mysteries. The story of Christianity is far from over. It's only just beginning. Was Christianity tolerated? One of the most intriguing aspects of the Megiddo discovery is the insight it offers into the relationship between early Christianity and the Roman Empire. We often hear about the Roman Empire's persecution of Christians, but this mosaic and the prayer hall it was found in suggest that the relationship between the two may not have been as straightforward as history has led us to believe. The mosaic inscription, God Jesus Christ, found within the prayer hall, is particularly interesting in this context. It directly challenges the traditional narrative that early Christians were solely persecuted and rejected by the Roman authorities. In fact, some scholars are now suggesting that there may have been a level of tolerance or even acceptance of Christianity among certain segments of the Roman government, particularly in regions where Christian communities were thriving. In addition to the inscription, archaeologists have uncovered evidence suggesting that Roman soldiers may have been among the early converts to Christianity. The presence of Roman officers and soldiers in close proximity to Christian communities in the region raises important questions about the relationship between early Christians and the Roman military. Could it be that some Roman officials were sympathetic to the Christian faith, even as it was spreading throughout the empire? These findings also call into question the idea that Christianity was exclusively a subversive, underground movement during the early years of its existence. While it is true that early Christians faced significant persecution, the evidence uncovered at Megiddo suggests that there were also pockets of support, and in some cases, acceptance, of the faith among the Roman elite. This nuanced view of the relationship between early Christians and the Roman Empire adds a layer of complexity to our understanding of how Christianity grew and spread during its formative years. Could this discovery at Megiddo lead to a reassessment of how we view the role of Roman authorities in the spread of Christianity? The evidence uncovered here could challenge long-standing assumptions and offer a more complex picture of the relationship between the Roman Empire and early Christianity. The fish symbol. One of the most iconic symbols of early Christianity is the fish, and it appears prominently in the Megiddo Mosaic. For early Christians, the fish was much more than just a simple image. It was a symbol of their faith and a secret sign used by believers to identify each other, especially during times of persecution. The Greek word for fish, ichthys, is an acronym for Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior, and it was widely used as a covert expression of Christian identity. The inclusion of the fish symbol in the mosaic found at Megiddo is not just an artistic choice, it's a theological statement. Early Christians saw the fish as a representation of Jesus' miraculous feeding of the masses with fish and loaves, as well as his calling of the fishermen disciples. By using the fish as a symbol, early Christians were aligning themselves with the teachings and miracles of Jesus, signifying their belief in his divine nature. What's even more intriguing is the placement of the fish symbol in the mosaic. Its prominence suggests that early Christians did not just use the symbol in secret, it was part of their public expression of faith, indicating that they were not afraid to stand by their beliefs, even in the face of potential persecution. The fish symbol, like the inscription God Jesus Christ, reinforces the idea that early Christians were already proclaiming the divinity of Jesus, long before the church councils made this doctrine official. The fish symbol also serves as a reminder of the early Christian practice of baptizing new converts. The act of baptism, which involves immersion in water, was symbolically linked to the fish, which represents the catching of souls for Christ. This connection between the fish symbol and baptism further emphasizes the early Christian understanding of Jesus as the Savior and Son of God, a belief that was foundational to their faith. So, what does this reveal about the early church? Could the fish symbol found in the mosaic at Megiddo be a key piece in understanding how early Christians expressed their faith, both privately and publicly? The fish may seem like a simple icon, but its meaning runs much deeper, offering valuable insight into the beliefs and practices of the first Christian communities. The Megiddo connection. Megiddo, the site of this remarkable archaeological discovery, is not only significant for its role in early Christian history, but also for its connection to biblical prophecy. In the book of Revelation, Megiddo is famously described as the site of the final battle between good and evil, Armageddon. This connection adds an extra layer of intrigue to the discovery of the ancient Christian prayer hall and the mosaic it contained. The fact that this early Christian prayer hall was found in Megiddo, a location that has been associated with prophecy for centuries, adds a mystical dimension to the find. The discovery could be seen as a divine coincidence, as it sheds light on the early Christian belief in Jesus as divine, in a place that is famously tied to the ultimate triumph of good over evil. This powerful connection between early Christianity and biblical prophecy invites us to reconsider the significance of Megiddo in Christian thought and tradition. What's more, the presence of Christian worship in Megiddo, long before Christianity became an official religion of the Roman Empire, suggests that the teachings of Jesus were deeply ingrained in the lives of early followers. Despite the persecution they faced, early Christians continued to worship Jesus as God, perhaps even finding strength in the belief that they were part of a larger, divine plan, a plan that would ultimately lead to the fulfillment of the prophecy in the book of Revelation. Could the discovery of this prayer hall at Megiddo be part of a larger narrative in Christian history, one that connects early Christian beliefs to the prophetic visions found in the Bible? The link between Megiddo and the final Battle of Armageddon adds a profound layer of meaning to the discovery, making it not just an archaeological find, but a spiritual one as well. The diverse population of Megiddo. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Megiddo discovery is the fact that it was located in a region home to a diverse population of various religious and cultural backgrounds. In addition to the early Christians, the area was also populated by Jews, Samaritans, and Roman soldiers. This unique mix of cultures provides valuable insight into the dynamic relationships between different religious groups in the early years of Christianity. The coexistence of these diverse communities in such close proximity raises important questions about the nature of early Christianity's interaction with the Roman Empire. While we often think of the Romans as persecuting Christians, this discovery suggests that there may have been more tolerance and interaction between these groups than previously thought. Early Christians, Jews, and Roman officials may have coexisted and even interacted with each other in ways that we are only beginning to understand. This discovery offers a glimpse into a more complex and nuanced history of early Christianity, where diverse cultures and beliefs existed side by side, often influencing each other. The presence of Roman soldiers and officers in close proximity to early Christian communities challenges the traditional narrative of unyielding Roman opposition to Christianity. It suggests that, at least in some regions, Roman authorities may have been more tolerant, if not accepting, of the Christian faith than we have been led to believe. What does this mean for our understanding of early Christianity and its relationship with the Roman Empire? Could it be that early Christians were more integrated into Roman society than we previously thought? The evidence uncovered at Megiddo could be the key to unraveling these mysteries and rewriting our understanding of the early church. A window into the past. The discovery at Megiddo has opened a window into the early Christian world, offering a rare glimpse into the beliefs, practices, and lives of the first followers of Jesus. This mosaic, with its powerful inscriptions, is not just an artifact. It's a testament to the faith and perseverance of early Christians who lived under Roman rule, worshipping Jesus as God long before their beliefs were formalized by the church councils. The importance of this discovery goes beyond just rewriting the history of Christianity. It also challenges our understanding of the early church's role in the Roman Empire. While early Christians were often persecuted, the evidence uncovered at Megiddo suggests that they were also resilient, determined, and already laying the foundations of what would become one of the world's most influential religions. As more research is conducted on this site and others like it, we can expect even more revelations about the early church and its interactions with the surrounding cultures. The story of Christianity is far from over, and the discoveries made at Megiddo are just the beginning of a larger journey of historical and theological exploration. The legacy of this ancient prayer hall will continue to influence our understanding of the early church and its teachings for generations to come. Could this discovery spark a re-evaluation of early Christian history? The evidence found at Megiddo challenges conventional thinking, urging us to reconsider what we know about the early church and its beliefs. The truth may be more complex than we ever imagined. The role of Roman soldiers. One of the most unexpected aspects of the Megiddo discovery is the realization that Roman soldiers were part of the early Christian community. While most historical narratives emphasize the persecution of Christians by Roman authorities, the evidence uncovered in this ancient site suggests that the relationship between Christians and Romans may have been more complex than previously believed. Roman soldiers, who were stationed at the nearby Legion camp, may have been among the earliest converts to Christianity, providing insight into how Christianity was able to spread and gain followers despite imperial opposition. The coexistence of Roman soldiers and early Christians in the same area raises intriguing questions. How did early Christians manage to practice their faith in a time when Roman law was hostile toward their beliefs? Were there Roman officials who secretly accepted or tolerated Christianity? Or was the Christian faith so compelling that it attracted followers even within the Roman military? The evidence at Megiddo hints at the possibility of covert Christian worship and interactions between soldiers and early Christian communities that might have been previously overlooked. This discovery challenges the traditional view of the early church's relationship with the Roman Empire, suggesting that the dynamics between these two groups were far more intricate than the standard narrative of persecution and suppression. Did Roman soldiers' early involvement in Christianity play a significant role in the faith's survival and spread? Could the tolerance of Roman authorities, at least in certain regions, have paved the way for Christianity to thrive and become an official religion of the empire centuries later? This chapter of history, unveiled through the archaeological findings at Megiddo, opens up new possibilities for understanding the relationship between early Christians and Roman military officials. The evidence also sheds light on how Christianity may have integrated into the Roman world in subtle, unexpected ways. Early Christian communities, like the one at Megiddo, might have been places where people from diverse backgrounds, including military personnel, could find a sense of belonging. The presence of these soldiers could have influenced the development of the early church, making it more adaptable to the multicultural environment of the Roman Empire. This discovery may also be an indication of the influence of Roman soldiers in the spread of Christianity across the empire. As we continue to study the artifacts and inscriptions found at Megiddo, we may uncover more details about how early Christianity grew in the shadows of Roman rule and how it was shaped by its interactions with the Roman military. The role of Roman soldiers in early Christian communities could be more significant than we ever imagined, offering a fresh perspective on how Christianity navigated its early years and eventually became the dominant religion in the Western world. The power of early Christian symbolism. Among the many fascinating details found in the Megiddo Mosaic is the prominent use of symbols that were deeply significant to early Christians. The fish symbol, in particular, holds great theological and historical importance. Early Christians used the fish as a secret sign to identify each other and as a symbol of Jesus Christ. The Greek word ichthys, meaning fish, also serves as an acronym for Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. This simple, yet profound symbol was an essential part of early Christian identity. The inclusion of the fish symbol in the mosaic found at Megiddo is more than just an artistic decoration. It is a clear statement of faith. Early Christians used this symbol to signify their belief in Jesus as the Son of God, the Savior of humanity. It's a powerful testament to how early Christians, even in the face of persecution, openly embraced their faith and its symbols, often in subtle ways that could pass unnoticed by outsiders. The fish symbol not only represents their belief in Jesus, but also connects them to a larger Christian tradition that was developing during the 3rd century. What makes this discovery even more profound is the fact that the fish symbol was used in the mosaic alongside the inscription, God, Jesus Christ. The combination of these symbols reinforces the belief that early Christians were already acknowledging the divinity of Jesus in a very public way, despite the challenges they faced. This discovery strengthens the argument that the belief in Jesus' divinity was not a later development in Christianity, but was central to the faith from its earliest days. The power of symbolism in early Christianity cannot be overstated. The fish, along with other symbols such as the chi-rho, the cross, and the anchor, played a crucial role in helping early Christians express their faith in a society that was often hostile to them. These symbols were more than just religious icons. They were markers of identity and community, offering Christians a way to recognize each other and assert their beliefs without putting themselves in danger. As we study the use of symbols in early Christian worship, we gain a deeper understanding of how these symbols shaped the identity of the faith and contributed to its survival and growth. The discovery at Megiddo also highlights the importance of these early symbols in connecting the early Christian communities across the Roman Empire. The use of the fish symbol in Megiddo reinforces the idea that early Christians, despite being a marginalized group, were part of a larger network of believers who shared common symbols, practices, and beliefs. This discovery underscores the resilience and unity of early Christian communities and their commitment to spreading the message of Jesus Christ. The role of women. The inscriptions found at Megiddo not only shed light on early Christian theology, but also offer important insights into the role of women in the development of the early church. Among the inscriptions found in the mosaic, one references a woman named Aus, who offered the table of God, Jesus Christ, as a memorial. This is a significant find, as it is the first known evidence of a woman playing an active role in early Christian religious practices. Her act of offering the table for the Eucharist celebration is an indication that women were not only involved in Christian communities, but also in positions of influence within these groups. In the early years of Christianity, women often took on important roles, serving as patrons, supporters, and even leaders of Christian communities. The act of Aus offering the table suggests that women were involved in the liturgical and religious life of the early church, in ways that have often been overlooked by traditional historical narratives. This discovery challenges the notion that women were relegated to passive roles in early Christian communities and highlights their active participation in the formation of Christian identity and practice. The role of women in the early church is a topic that has been subject to much debate. While the New Testament mentions women in leadership positions within the early Christian movement, historical records have often downplayed their contributions. The discovery at Megiddo, however, provides concrete evidence that women played a crucial role in the early Christian worship and community-building process. This insight opens up new avenues of research into the role of women in early Christianity and challenges long-held assumptions about their place in the early church. The inclusion of women in early Christian practices, as evidenced by the mosaic at Megiddo, underscores the egalitarian nature of the early church, where individuals of all genders, backgrounds, and social statuses were welcomed. This discovery forces us to rethink our understanding of early Christian communities as diverse, dynamic, and inclusive spaces. Women were not just bystanders in the development of Christianity, they were active participants in the shaping of the faith and its rituals. As we explore the significance of women's roles in early Christianity, the findings at Megiddo remind us of the complex, multifaceted nature of early Christian communities. These women were not only crucial to the survival and spread of Christianity, but also to its development as a spiritual and social movement that would eventually change the course of history. The coexistence of faiths. One of the most striking aspects of the Megiddo discovery is the multicultural environment in which early Christians lived. The region surrounding the prayer hall was home to a mix of Jewish, Samaritan, and Roman residents. This diverse community provides valuable insights into how early Christianity interacted with other religious groups during its formative years. The evidence uncovered at Megiddo suggests that early Christians did not exist in isolation, but were part of a larger, complex network of religious and cultural communities. The presence of Jewish, Samaritan, and Roman populations in close proximity to early Christian communities raises important questions about religious coexistence in the ancient world. While we often think of early Christianity as a persecuted minority faith, the evidence at Megiddo suggests that early Christians were part of a broader religious landscape where multiple faiths coexisted, interacted, and sometimes influenced one another. This discovery challenges the conventional narrative of Christian persecution and suggests that early Christians were not only tolerated, but were part of a larger religious and social fabric. The evidence also highlights the fluidity of religious identity in the ancient world. People were often part of multiple religious communities, and their beliefs and practices were shaped by their interactions with others. Early Christians, for example, may have interacted with Jews and Samaritans in meaningful ways, sharing beliefs, symbols, and rituals. The multicultural nature of early Christian communities could have played a significant role in shaping the development of Christian theology, doctrine, and practice. The discovery at Megiddo provides a unique opportunity to explore the dynamics of religious coexistence in the ancient world. It challenges our assumptions about religious boundaries and offers new perspectives on how early Christianity emerged in a complex, multicultural environment. As we study these findings, we gain a deeper understanding of how early Christian communities were shaped by their interactions with other religious and cultural groups, and how they navigated their place in the broader Roman Empire. This discovery forces us to reconsider our understanding of early Christianity as a monolithic, persecuted movement and encourages us to explore the rich diversity of religious and cultural experiences that contributed to the formation of the Christian faith. Could the story of early Christianity be far more intricate than we ever imagined? The answer may lie in the evidence uncovered at Megiddo, where early Christians lived, worshipped, and interacted with others in ways that continue to surprise and challenge us. This discovery has the potential to rewrite history as we know it. With each new detail, we're uncovering a deeper truth about early Christianity and the divine nature of Jesus. What else is out there waiting to be uncovered? Let us know in the comments what you think this means for our understanding of ancient beliefs. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more jaw-dropping revelations. This is just the beginning. Catch you in the next video.